This is Sarah Johnson, and this is Now You Get It. A lot of my background of music was leading worship, and I learned guitar to play for my middle school worship band. So I did that throughout high school, college, and then didn't really ever pursue it professionally until about 2019, when I had just written a lot of songs that were very biographical and Americana style, and more what I was listening to and really enjoy hearing, or the concerts that I love to go to and the people that I look up to. So I was writing more of that style. And in about 2019, I really decided that this was something that I wanted to pursue. I had a couple friends that heard my songs just like late night after you get home from a bar, and I'm like, yeah, I wrote this song or something. And they're like, Sarah, that's actually good. Like, you should share that. And so they did a house concert for me. And that was my first time I'd ever sung like this particular type of song in front of anyone, like a song about a boy, or, just a more biographical song other than a worship song. And the response was really neat. And I loved seeing how people resonated with the songs. So they're like, oh, that's how I felt after this. Or I loved, the way that you expressed that. And so just that connection with my friends first and then audiences was really what got me excited about pursuing music, is being able to share that. And so I actually thought I had to go to Nashville to pursue music. So I packed up my bags and I was in Nashville for about 4 months. And what's funny is I found a studio in Dallas that I really, really wanted to work with. And first I found the studio. I didn't even know it was in Dallas. And then I'm looking on the website and it's like a mile away from my house. And so I kind of packed up my bags again, but this time to go back to Dallas and work with Modern Electric Studios. And then we recorded the first 6 songs of the album. I think I learned a long time ago that one of the best things that you can do in any pursuit is to collaborate and work together. And if this person has an audience that loves female songwriters, then hey, they might like mine, and vice versa. So if we're coming together for a show, then it only helps all of us because we're reaching each other's audiences. And they also see the teamwork that music actually takes. So I started a series called Girls of DFW, and it's a female songwriter series in Dallas. And it's a listening room style song swap. And the first one was Americana, second one was diverse genres. And we all got on stage and just shared songs and stories behind them, just totally acoustic setting. And I mean, it was wonderful because I just think that that's from the beginning of music, you'll either have the musician or the opener or the bands that are touring together. It's just, there's so much beauty in teamwork. And I think to continue to highlight that is really important. And also to me, to throw live events. I mean, it's a constant struggle now with social media. I could spend a lot of time singing in front of my phone and trying to create content. But at the end of the day, I want to create live music experiences for people and to have that be a huge part of my career. So I'm really proud of the fact that I can get people on stage and show that, and throw a concert where people are experiencing live music, or show camaraderie with all females on stage, or getting together a big lineup of musicians that come together for a charity concert, which I also did. It's just, that's what music is about to me. It's getting together with real life people, real life voices, and friends, and putting on amazing experiences for people. So it's funny, a lot of times people ask me, like, how did you get your song on the radio, or how did you get your story in the magazine or whatever? I really just do my research. I know that sounds funny, but I really just, if you can submit on a website your song, I do that. But then I'll follow up with an email, because I'll find the DJ's email and I'll say, I'd like to introduce myself and my name's Sarah. I mean, so much of it is just a lot of research and a lot of being very persistent. I mean, you have to be so persistent in music, and you have to knock on doors. And sometimes it's knocking on doors until you get a no. And sometimes it's knocking on doors until you get a yes. But you have to be very resilient and persistent to get either answer. And sometimes it's not now. And then you knock on another time and it could open then. So, I mean, with radio is really just submitting my songs to the radio, but then finding out who the DJs are, what are their names, inviting them to shows. I mean, every city has a local music scene, so start there. And those DJs want to know about the local music. They want to come to your shows. And also, I want to have you come to a show and enjoy, not just like, please play my song. It's also like, hey, I'd like to invite you to my EP release party, or just invite them to be part of your story too. Because that's a really fun part of a DJ's life, is to say, oh, I found Sarah here, or any artist. So it's kind of like looking at your career in a way of being symbiotic. So I'm not necessarily always asking people for things. I'm hoping to provide them with like, hey, here's a fun experience, or hey, here's a local song that you can play, or here's a really cool story that could be in your magazine. It's like, how can I serve your passion too? And we help each other. I was thinking about that, honestly, driving here, because I was thinking about just what's my strategy, or how does all of this come together? And so much of it is just these pieces that somehow have fit together, whether it's I did a photo shoot for a vintage clothing line where I was just coming in to do a really fun shoot for her to promote her brand. And then when Highway Robbery came out, it was the perfect images and feel for that single. So by coming and helping her to do a photo shoot for her brand, I then was like, hey, can I use these images for my single? And then that's what ended up. Like, that was not a planned photo shoot for the single. That was a fun photo shoot that then was perfect for Highway Robbery. And that's kind of a story that I have for a lot of my imagery, or a lot of my album art, or even my Instagram. One of my best tools of music is a selfie tripod, and the Stages album art was just me with my selfie tripod taking pictures, because I had actually done all my hair and makeup and had a cool outfit on. So just right before the concert, I sat down in the foyer of my house and I took tons of pictures. And then, you know, with some filters and some effects, it turned into this like perfect photo shoot. And then there's different instances with that, like just sometimes photographers have shown up to concerts and then it's a perfect image for this, or seeking out opportunities where people are doing promotions, or hey, we'll come to this mic or open mic and we'll record your set. And just there's a lot of services and cool things for artists that if you take advantage of them, you can have a lot of content too. So, I mean, that's a very long-winded answer to say that I think when you're being creative, when you're collaborating, when you're working with people, when you're taking advantage of moments, that you can grab content and kind of letting that documentation of your life and of your work be a constant just on your radar to do that, then you'll end up with all this content that you can use in so many ways. So you can find my music in many places. One, it's wonderful if you follow me on Instagram, sarahjohnson.music. It's how a lot of artists get booked now, as people look at their Instagram following. All of my music is on every streaming platform, so you can find it there. I'm on TikTok, even though I kind of said I didn't want to do all of the video content, but you can also find me sarahjohnson.music on TikTok, YouTube. Really, any social media platform, I will have a presence. But the main thing I want you to do is listen to my music and enjoy it. So stream on Spotify or wherever you stream music, and then follow on Instagram, sarahjohnson.music. This is Sarah Johnson, and this has been Now You Get It.